Chapter 38. Scared to death. Sanchi cursed silently. The ghost vine was hiding in the mud just now, so he could not see him. Blood flowed out of his chest that had been pierced by the sneak attack. A cold aura surged over him, making Sanchi feel his body go limp, but he did not fall. His vitality was already strong enough, so strong that he did not die immediately after his heart was pierced. While there was still some time, he gritted his teeth and grabbed the tentacle that had pierced through his heart, pulling hard. His strength was exceptionally powerful. With the enhancement of his innate divine strength, it was equivalent to the combined strength of 20 bulls. The tentacles immediately elongated, and the ghost face revealed an expression of agony as it quickly morphed into different shapes. Only then did Sanchi realize that the tentacle was something that looked like hair coming out of the two faces. And there seemed to be only one strand of hair left. The others had been broken and were still charred. As he pulled, black tentacles appeared under the ghost face, emitting black airflow as if they had been pulled out of hell. Boom! The tentacle was broken by Sanchi and the ghost's face twisted in pain. Sanchi also bled to death and fell in front of the ghost face. The latter opened its mouth and revealed its sharp teeth. It then used its remaining tentacles to pull Sanchi's body over. Before it could eat it, however, Sanchi suddenly opened his eyes. Sanchi's right hand emitted flames. The terrifying temperature made the river water that came into contact with his palm boil. With a bang, he released the 9 yang true energy without hesitation. Miserable shrieks rang out as the ghost face shattered into pieces. Just as Sanchi thought that he had killed this guy, 2 ghost heads flew out from the broken ghost faces and bit Sanchi's neck. Catcha catcha! His neck was instantly drenched in blood. The 2 ghost heads continued to bite him manically. His windpipe and spine only lasted for an instant before they broke. Die. Sanchi's eyes were filled with killing intent, and his hands were burning with flames. Puff! Puff! He forcibly crushed the ghost head before collapsing. After 3 seconds, Sanchi got up with a solemn expression. This thing could actually launch a fatal attack before it died. How troublesome! The other party had been injured by someone before. After killing the tentacle monster, Sanchi realized that the cold aura around him had not dissipated. He was shocked. Could there be something else? He looked left and right vigilantly. On the shattered body of the tentacle monster, Sanchi caught a glimpse of black. He walked over and kicked it. An irregular black bead the size of a pigeon's egg rolled out. Ticking it up, a cold aura spread over, giving him a strange feeling. At the spot where the tentacle monster was, he found a crack that vaguely looked like it was formed by a jade. Sanchi bent down and pushed away the soil. The moment he touched the jade, he immediately shivered and retracted his palm as if he had been electrocuted. It's too cold. I feel like my body is going to become frozen. What is this? He used his hand to push away the nearby mud, revealing more and more jade stones. There were blood-colored runes on them that he could not understand at all. Why is there this pile of jade stones at the bottom of the river? And why is there a tentacle monster that looks like a vine? Sanchi could not understand. The flames in his palm flickered as he used his iron sand palm to slap the jade. The next moment, his hand went numb and he grimaced in pain. There were no cracks on the jade at all. Sanchi was stunned. With his current strength, he could even crush pebbles. How could this thing be so hard? Before he could think further, the runes on the jade lit up and emitted a circle of blood-colored light. This light was incomparably cold and emitted a destructive aura. Sanchi's hair stood on end. He could not dodge in time and instantly turned into a pool of blood, but his clothes were strangely undamaged. Ding! Congratulations on being killed by an array formation. Formation level +6. You have absorbed power from death and obtained 3 freedom attribute points. You will be resurrected in 3 seconds. No resurrection location set. Resurrection on the spot by default. Ding! Congratulations on being killed by a new target. You meet the motivation conditions. If you can crack this array formation within the specified time, you will be rewarded with 1 chance to draw the lottery. Sanchi revived with a dumbfounded expression. He touched his body and stared blankly at the stone in the mud. What the hell? These stones in the mud were actually a killing formation. He had only punched it, but it had actually turned him into a pool of blood. One really can't afford to offend them, however. The rewards were quite abundant, far above those from being killed by Khanate level experts. Just as Sanchi was considering whether he should die a few more times by the array formation, the river above him fluctuated. two figures broke through the water and appeared. Song Shi's scalp went numb. Could it be that the two of them had discovered his resurrection? It was too terrifying. Would he be captured and dissected for research? Song Shi, who was not afraid of death, was trembling in fear. When a person was not afraid of death, there will only be two things that he will become afraid of: loneliness and the loss of freedom. It was fine to be alone. He didn't mind being by himself, but losing his freedom was the most terrifying. He was afraid that he might become imprisoned or buried in the ground, constantly cut up for research or tragically sealed. Song Shi was extremely afraid. He had never been so afraid. Run. I have torn. Song Shi made up his mind. If he was discovered this time, he would definitely die in the future. When he ran 10 feet on the riverbed, the two people above him stopped halfway as if they didn't see him. A layer of blood-colored energy membrane blocked the two of them from him. Under this membrane, it formed a special area that seemed to cover his tracks. Could it be the power of the array formation? He stopped and turned to look at the jade. Indeed, the runes on it were still glowing, emitting a circle of blood-colored light. Inside the array formation now and there outside. Song Shi fell into deep thought and felt slightly relieved. Only then did he carefully size up the two of them. He knew Wuxia, he was probably here to take a look. But who was this beauty beside him? She was valiant, beautiful and even more elegant than Liu Ruxu when she dressed up. The two of them flew on their swords, without any discrepancies between them. They were probably on the same level. Such a young late-stage she refined and cultivator, she can probably be considered a genius. Seeing that the two of them did not seem to be able to see him, Song Shi raised his hand and waved, but there was still no reaction. The two of them were discussing the array formation. Senior brother, this cave abode is probably not ordinary. The array formation outside is already so powerful. Could it be left behind by a golden cord dust? Chen Yiling sized up the blood-colored array formation barrier beneath her with interest. It should be. Looking at the aura of this array formation, it must have been left behind by someone from the evil path. Wuxia frowned and thought of something. It said that 500 years ago, a blood-robed old ghost appeared in Go Prefecture, was later killed by Sage Golden Light. Could this be his cave abode? Let's test it out. Chen Yiling waved her hand and pointed. A sword beam flew out from the thin golden sword under her feet and instantly slashed at the array formation barrier. The barrier was immediately distorted by the slash and a sword mark appeared. However, the energy inside squirmed and quickly restored the crack. At this moment, the runes on the jade shone brightly and a circle of blood-colored light was released. Damn! It's here again. When Song Shi saw it, he could not dodge the flash of blood-colored light. After being affected, he turned into a pool of blood again.